Yo guys, what is going on? Got a fun video for you guys today. I'm going to show off 6 different decks coming out of the new BT5 Battle of Omni set. That pre-release is going on, I believe, the last week in July 30th or something like that. But we're getting the official release of the set August 6th, I believe. So with that, I want to kind of just talk about one different deck for each color. We got red here. I'll start with that. And just give you guys some like moderately okay profiles. Like I don't know how good these are. I haven't really tested them, but just to kind of give you an ideas of what the decks might look like and how they might run. And also, you see here, I'm on DigimonCard.dev. If you do want to check out this builder for decks, and it has a whole database of all the cards and for different colors and stuff, the link will be in the description. But do please keep in mind that this price is, please take this with a grain of salt. Like, a lot of these cards have not even come out yet, so while that is a very cool feature, please don't like rage at me in the comments that, hey, this deck is like $200. Like, no, please, just these decks haven't come out yet, so we don't know. But anyways, that rant aside, so we got a Blitz Red here, or basically a red deck that focuses around Shoutmon D-Cross or DX, whatever you want to call him, and this new ability that has been previously like labeled as Advance or Blitz. I think it's officially translated as Blitz. I don't know, guys, whatever. So this is the official Omnimon art, I think, so I'm just going to call it Blitz. But anyways, this Blitz ability is new to BT5. Basically, it allows you to, as the Digimon, attack even if through the process of Digivolution you went over your memory, like you went over 0 and it's now your opponent's turn. You have to finish the resolving the when Digivolving effect, and basically these guys let you attack while your memory is over 0. So Omnimon here even gets to unsuspend, that Digimon that already attacked. So then you get to, attack with your Digimon, go into Omnimon, unsuspend him, and attack again, even if you go over 0. So that is really cool, and it comes with a lot of different powerful Digimon. So I talked about Omnimon. Shoutmon D-Cross here, he has the effect where, of course, he has Advanced, and then when Digivolving, you may place a red Digimon card from your hand to the top of his materials. That is any red Digimon card. So then it's really nice because you can stack all these fantastic inherited effects like security attack +1, or maybe plus 3,000 from the Mental Greymon or something like that. And then for each Shoutmon or Omni Shoutmon and Z Greymon on his sources, delete something with 5,000 or lower. So then, of course, you are playing the Omni Shoutmon, which is a really cool card. Of course, it gives the inherited effect of if this Digimon has Advance or Blitz, gives security attack +1. So then not only are you swinging with like a 12,000 dude who's probably even more, maybe, because you boosted it with some of your other effects, then you're also hitting 2 security cards. And then, of course, Z Greymon also has that effect of Advance or Blitz, but then also if he, is in Digivolve until level 6 or level 7, his inherited is that if this Digimon attacks with Blitz, it can attack unsuspended Digimon as well. So that's really, really cool for clearing out your opponent's board. So lots of really powerful cards here. And then, of course, we got like this Agumon engine with Nokia. And then the new BT5 Omnimon, Agumon, that allows you to reveal the top 3 cards from your deck on play, and then add a Digimon with Greymon as well as an Omnimon. So then, of course, you're playing lots of Greymons, lots of Omnimons. So that's basically how the deck goes, guys. It's a very, very fun deck. I've been testing it out a little bit over the past couple of weeks, and I think it is legitimately competitive. I think all these decks I'm about to show you are competitive in some way. So yeah, that's going to do it for the Blitz Red deck. So then moving on to green, we have Rafflesiamon green. Rafflesiamon, I think at first glance, I really underestimated this card. She's a really cool card. Also, by the way, similar to Shoutmon, how Shoutmon can actually Digivolve from a level 5 or a level 6, Rafflesiamon has these same kind of conditions, where if you're evolving from a 5, she's a 3 cost, but if you're evolving for a 6, she's a 1 cost, which is really sick. But basically, she has the effect of Digiburst 2. You can trash 2 cards and then just give all of your Digimon plus 2,000, which is a nice blanket effect, and that's pretty sweet. But that's not even the best part. The real kicker here is that when one of your Digimon uses Digiburst, including herself, you get to choose one of your opponent's Digimon, and that Digimon can't attack or block until the until the end of your opponent's next turn. So basically, if it's your turn, you activate this, like, let's say Digivolve into Rafflesia, activate her effect, boost her to 13,000. Then your opponent has a blocker on field. Maybe you choose that guy, he can't block, or maybe if they got like an Omnimon and then you want to swing with your Rafflesia, well, now you don't have to worry about the Omnimon running you over the following turn. turn, and then also counters a lot of other cards that have like when attacking effects, stuff like Lord Nymon and Aboremon and any other, you know, things like that. So it's really cool stun card, and then with that comes these kind of cool combos that you can do with stuff like Rosemon. This is BT5 Rosemon, so she gives all of your Digiburst Digimon security attack +1. So like if you have Rosemon and Rafflesiamon on the field, like you trigger Rosemon and then you give both of them a security attack +1, and then you get to also choose one of your opponent's Digimon that can't attack or block next turn. So then you basically save yourself, like you choose one of your opponent's Digimon and they can't attack or block, so then you're guaranteed like multiple security checks, which is really sick. And then Grand Kuwagamon is kind of the same idea. We've seen this be very powerful in Green OTK, so I think it's going to continue to be so like later on in the BT5 format. And then you're also playing a lot of Digiburst support cards. I didn't include Promo Palmon in here, but if you do have access to that, you definitely could. Lalamon here is a nice substitute, nice cheap substitute, where if you trash her due to Digiburst, add it back to your hand. And then, of course, you've got the really nice new Digi-Egg Yokomon, which allows you to get plus 2,000 on one of your Digimon if you do trash her with Digiburst. So, like, let's say you go into Rafflesia, activate her effect to trash the Yokomon and something else, that's a plus 4,000 boost on her. That is 15k, enough to run over plenty of level 6s and 7s in the game. So that is a really nice combo. And then, of course, other Digiburst Digimon like Lilamon here, and then playing the Digisorption package, because, of course, these guys will be pretty much thrown in any green deck I make until they like get banned, because these guys are just absolutely ridiculous. We also got Weedmon here, which is one of the newer, I believe, yeah, he's a common out of BT5, where he gets to trigger himself on, you know, when you trash him to Digiburst, and then you gain 1 memory. So that's really sick. Also not once per turn, so if you have multiples of him, you can do that multiple times, which is really sick. And then, you know, Terriermon Assistant, which is I think it's a kind of cool tech card. I don't know how much play this guy will see. He's basically Tentomon, but like you Digivolve him. I kind of just think Tentomon's better in most situations, but anyways, he is a Digiburster, so that's kind of cool. And then, of course, playing you know, Chaosmon, Hidden Potential Discovered, because this card, of course, is really broken as well. But yeah, that's kind of the idea behind this green Rafflesiamon build. You're basically just trying to stun your opponent with Rafflesiamon, as well as hit them down with your security attack boosters, and then go to maybe a Chaosmon afterwards. So I think really cool combos you can do in this deck. So then moving on to the next color, we got purple here, and I think this is going to be one of the coolest decks out of BT5. So this is kind of a Chaos Gallantmon and Tactimon build. I've seen decks that have utilized both of these guys separately, but I really think putting them together is kind of spicy. All right, so what these guys do is Chaos Gallantmon, when Digivolving, he is a Chimeramon, so you get to delete something else to kill a level 5 or lower Digimon on your opponent's side of the field, which is already really good, okay? But then, during your turn, once per turn, if your other Digimon is deleted, which includes through, like, any means, right? Includes through his first effect, right? So this will automatically trigger, and then, you know, you can use it multiple times if you have other ways to delete your, you know, own Digimon, like option cards or whatever. So one per turn, when one of your other Digimon is deleted, you get to play 1 purple level 3 Digimon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Now, of course, the stipulation where on-play effects don't activate, but you don't really care. So that's really nice, especially in tandem with the new Guillaumon here, which you know, reads, if this card was deleted by an effect, either yours or your opponent's, you get to gain 1 memory. So the kind of combo here is to go into Chaos Gallantmon, delete a Guillaumon, gain a memory, kill a level 5 or lower, bring back a Guillaumon, and it's basically like you got that, you know, +1 memory, you got the deletion effect for free. So it's really sick. And then, of course, you've got other things that help you facilitate these plays, such as War Growlmon here. Black War Growlmon instantly sets you up for a Chaos Gallantmon play by himself, which is really sick. He has the Digiburst 3 effect, so trash 3 cards, and then play Purple Rookie from your trash. So then the kind of combo there is, of course, to just get Guillaumon out for free. And by the way, you can actually play, like, let's say I have no cards in my trash, and then I just have this guy with like a Guillaumon and like maybe like a Meramon or something, and I can just straight up trash the cards underneath him and then bring back the rookie I just trashed. So that is a really cool interaction, and then just going into Chaos Gallantmon on top of that is pretty sick. So War Growlmon, very fantastic, and then also he has that inherited effect where once per turn you can delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend them. So getting multiple attacks off of the Chaos Gallantmon is pretty nice, and then of course deleting your Guillaumon Aboremon is pretty sick as well. I feel really bad for Guilmon. It's kind of like the New Age Tapirmon, where like you're just like straight up killing these guys over and over with like your card effects. I'm also playing Chimeramon because Chimeramon plus Guilmon does make him a 6-drop versus a 7, which is pretty sick. So then, you know, playing a lot of those, and then just a bunch of other generic rookies. Black Growlmon here has the effect, if one of your other Digimon is deleted this turn, you get security attack +1. So just even more support for the Chaos Gallantmon idea, kind of just going off of deleting your own dudes and then, you know, being able to attack twice potentially with security attack +1 is pretty sick at 12,000. You're pretty much, I don't want to say you're guaranteed to live, but it's unlikely you're going to die. So anyways, and then, you know, okay, so Chaos Gallantmon's already good, right? But then the spice here is playing Black War Growlmon with Tactimon, because Tactimon actually kind of has a crazy one attacking effect, right? Especially because this isn't once per turn. So if you unsuspend him, like, you know, via, you know, a Wergarurumon here or Black War Growlmon, you get to trigger it multiple times. So activate one of the following effects, or if you have no other Digimon, activate all of them instead. And in this deck, you are deleting your other Digimon quite often, so having just like kind of one big boss monster to go into is a pretty sick idea. So then basically you get to, when attacking, gain 1 memory, or he gets 2,000 DP, so it goes to 13,000, or delete up to 3 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, which is really sick. Like, on paper, that's kind of a crazy effect. It doesn't really do much unless you're playing like a Rookie Rush deck, or, you know, playing against a Rookie Rush deck, or playing against any sort of Swarm deck like Yellow War Greymon and like Lord Nightmon. So he's kind of supposed to be the counter to Lord Nightmon. Like, they're kind of like foils in that sense. So then not only being able to do that, getting all of those effects, and then getting all those effects twice is like kind of the goal here. That would be pretty sick, okay? So basically being able to clear your opponent's board of level 3s, boosting him up to, you know, however much DP that would be. So attacking twice, that'd be plus 4,000, so 15,000, and then gaining a memory every single time. So that is a really cool interaction. And then of course you've also got a crazy level 7 here in the form of Omnimon's Wart. So when Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck and then play 2 black or purple Digimon with play costs of 8 or less from your trash. So then that basically encompasses anything from level 5 downwards. This guy's level cost is 8, this guy's cost is 7, etc. So you can get back blockers if you need them. You can get back, you know, your War Growlmon if you want the inherited effect. You can also get back Chimeramons to kind of, you know, proc that effect, because this doesn't actually specify that when played effects don't activate. They actually do. So you can legit trigger Chimeramon off of that, which is pretty sick. And then when attacking, you may return a level 6 source to delete something with an unsuspended Digimon with a play cost of 12 or less. So kind of like a mini trump sword there. Basically everything level 6 or lower is 12 cost or less, I believe. There might be a couple that are like 13. I can't think of any, but regardless, Omnimon's Wart's a really cool card. And then just playing some option cards here in Matt as well. Demonic Disaster, I believe this is out of BT. Yeah, this is BT5. Delete one of your purple Digimon to unsuspend, or sorry, delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend a purple Digimon. So basically, you know, it's War Growlmon's effect in an option card. So being able to do that for 1 is pretty sick, especially because a lot of the times when you're deleting Guilmon, you get back 1 memory anyway. So that's the purple Chaos Gallantmon deck. A really fun deck. Really cool. So then for blue as a color, we got possibly the best like stun card as far as like level 6s go in the game. Okay, Hexablaumon is an absolutely crazy card. Okay, this guy is actually crazy. First of all, when attacking, you get to trash 2 cards, 2 Devolution cards from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then he gains jamming if your opponent has a Digimon without sources. Okay, so then you'll basically always have jamming, and then all turns, this is like the actually ridiculous part, your opponent's Digimon without sources can't attack or block, okay? So it's not minus security attack, it's just can't attack. So it's basically Rafflesiomon's effect, right? So we're seeing 2 very powerful stun cards coming out of this format, which who knows what that will do to the meta. I'm really interested to see, but Hexablau is very powerful, being able to just strip sources, get rid of pesky inherited effects. You don't have to worry about any any of that, and then your opponent is basically screwed until they like digivolve, and then they'd have to like digivolve that turn and then like attack over him. But like unless they're going to a level 7 or something, that's like I don't know, it's kind of unlikely. I'm also playing Omnimon X here. This isn't like necessary like at all. In fact, you really don't want to digivolve a Hexablow like ever. So I don't even know if like playing a level 7 is correct, but I think maybe one copy of like maybe a regular Omnimon, BT1 Omnimon or something could be pretty helpful. But then anyway, so Hexablow is crazy boss monster, and then his whole evolution line kind of facilitates that. So I'm playing lots of cards that gain memory and gain advantage off of your opponent not having Digimon sources. So stuff like Upamon here, stuff like Blucomon, stuff like Promo Gomamon. So every time you trash a card, you're going to gain 1 memory off of these guys. So super sick. And then of course we also got Bukamon here to help do that. Playing Gabumon just as a draw engine. Then we got the other Hexablow cards, Paildramon, which is one Digivolving, trash 2 cards at the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then Chris Paildramon, which is a Weregarurumon. It gives you security attack +1 if your opponent has a Digimon without sources, and then on Digivolve you get to just trash 1 card from the bottom of all of your opponent's Digimon. So it's a really cool spread effect. So then anyways, you're going to just build up into these guys, simultaneously trashing your opponent's sources until you can get into Hexablow and then just start swinging. And then of course you have what I think is the best dual tamer out of this set, which is Sora Takenouchi and Joe Kido. So this card, oh boy, this card, at the start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon without sources, gain 2 memory, or no Digimon with no Digivolution cards. You guys know what I mean? So basically, this is going to be able to trigger multiple times if you have multiple copies, and you're always going to start at 3 if your opponent does have a dude without sources. But not only that, right? When attacking, you get to, suspend Sora and Joe to trash 2 cards from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. So think of it like this. Every time you're swinging with Hexablow, you're trashing 2 cards from his effect and then trashing 2 more with Sora and Joe. So it is very unlikely your opponent is going to have any cards with Digivolution sources on them. And then we also got one of the best option cards for blue in this set. That is absolute blast. Trash the Digivolution card at the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then you can return one of your opponent's Digimon without Digivolution cards to the bottom of their deck. Okay, to the bottom of their deck is crazy. That's a Millenniumon and a 6 cost option card, and then you can also activate off security, which is actually just ridiculous. So this guy is really good as well. So yeah, Hexablowmon, just a fantastic card, and I'm really interested to see where this deck can go, how people will innovate it, and stuff like that. So anyways, that is this list for the blue deck. And then moving on to the black. Okay, so I will go ahead and preface this with I believe that these 4 first decks are somewhat budget, or you could at least build them. This deck might be kind of expensive because you got Omnimons and Shamans and stuff, but they're not bank breaking, if you know what I mean. Okay, the next 2 decks you actually just prepare yourself, because these decks are not cheap by any means. They're pretty good, they're fantastic in fact, but yeah, they're just this deck is half of it is promos. All right, so this is the Aboremon. Lots of really cool cards coming out on this set to support that, but unfortunately lots of these cards are promos, and you will need to hunt those down if you're trying to play this deck. Okay, maybe it's not explicitly necessary. I'm not a Aboremon expert, but this guy right here is probably one of the most priciest cards in this deck, and I would almost argue he's necessary. Maybe you don't need him, but having security attack +1 for each Aboremon you have on your field, when you're usually having at least him and then maybe a couple other tokens, it's pretty good. Okay, so it can get up to checking 3 or 4 cards in a single swing. And then not only that, but then you've also got, the level 60 Aboremon, the new one from the BT5 set. And then basically he says when Digivolving, you can just play a Aboremon token. And then it specifies here what those tokens do. They're all level 6 white Digimon, memory cost 14, 3000 DP, mega form, whatever. Okay, so that part is really cool, the fact that you can just play a token whenever Digivolving. But the real boss monster here is Armageddonmon, because the reason why you want all these tokens is to be able to play Armageddonmon for essentially free, for a very low cost. So he's a 15 play cost, he's a 3 Digivolve cost, you're never going to be Digivolving him, but I mean maybe you might occasionally. But anyways, when playing this card from your hand, you may delete one of your own Aboremons to reduce his play cost by 12, making him a 3 play cost, level 7, with 15,000 DP that has Rush, meaning this Digimon can attack the turn it's played. Okay, so that's already crazy, right? Then the other really cool effect is all level 7 Digimon do not activate their when Digivolving effect. So this is a hard counter to every other level 7 in the game, and pretty much every meta deck is playing some form of level 7. Omnimon's War, BT1 Omnimon, BT5 Omnimon, Chaosmon, Valdararm, regular Chaosmon, okay? So none of those guys will do jack to this deck whatsoever, right? They're just big beaters on the field at that point. So Armageddonmon's really cool, and then you've got all these other support cards. You've also got the Tamer card, Arata Sanada, which is I believe he's from Cyber Sleuth. Yeah, he's from Cyber Sleuth, so it was really cool that they're including the video game characters. But this guy is really good because at the start of your turn, if you have an unidentified in its type, if a Digimon with unidentified its type is in your trash, gain 1 memory. Okay. So that's already good, but during your turn, when you Digivolve into a Aboremon, you can suspend this Tamer and then just play another token. So imagine you have Arata on field here, and then you go into, not this guy, you go into Aboremon here, spawn a token, suspend him to spawn another token. You got 2 tokens, set up for your Aboremon, or your Armageddonmon, set up maybe with your security attack boosting Aboremon, etc., etc. And then you've also got other cards that let you play tokens, so something like an Infirmon, who has the inherited effect of play a Aboremon token. So if you actually delete a Aboremon and like himself instead of the token, you'll get another token regardless from his inherited effect. Also, you get to warp from Caramon, which is pretty sick. So that's already really good. And then you've got the new Kurisarimon here, or Chrysalimon, I think is the English name. Anyways, so if you don't have an Arata Sanada in your play, you can play one from your hand without paying its memory cost. So that's really sick. Just lets you get him on the field for free because he's very essential to the strategy. And then the kicker here is all of your Digimon that share a name with this Digimon gain Rush, okay? So this guy will eventually become a Aboremon. So now anytime you play a Aboremon, meaning a token, they gain Rush. So being able to spawn like 2, 3, 4 tokens every single turn, and then this guy will, you know, check 5 security cards, and then this guy will let you spawn more tokens, and then this guy will let you give them all Rush. So it's a pretty crazy deck, and I know this is a fan favorite because everyone loves Aboremon, everyone loves the first Digimon movie. So I hope at maybe some point the promo Aboremon evolution line cards get reprinted at some point. But yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, so that's Aboremon. I think it's a really fun deck. I think it will definitely be competitive. I'm not sure about like how like top tier it'll be, but it will definitely do something. Okay, so this deck's really cool. And then definitely save the best for last. This is undisputably, like, definitely hands down the best deck. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. Like, bro, this deck is actually disgusting, okay? If you've played this format at all, if you messed around with these cards, you'll know that Lord Nymon is actually, like, one of the best level 6s in the games. This deck is ridiculous, okay? Why is this deck so good? First of all, it's expensive, so you already know it's going to be good. Second of all, this guy lets you unload your hand to a ridiculous extent. You thought Wargreymon plus BT3 Anjuamon was bad? No, okay. This guy does the same thing, except you don't need like an Anjuamon underneath him. So he just lets you unload a yellow level 3 or a Digimon with Warrior, okay? So the yellow level 3 was already good, right? Because we've got cards in the game like Bushiagumon, a Rusher, you know, we've got stuff like Pulsemon, gaining you memory draw cards. We've got stuff like Lucamon, but then now we have probably one of the best rookies created, okay? Starmons or Starmon. I don't know what it's going to be, okay? Starmons. So on play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1,000 for a turn for each Digimon you have a play. So it's such a low cost, it's such a low commitment, and yet the ceiling for this card is basically like limitless, okay? You don't care that he's 1,000 DP. You don't care that he's a 3 play cost. That's not even that much, right? It's standard for rookie. Okay, 0 evolution cost. So basically, being able to play him off Lord Nymon, that's a guaranteed 2,000 at least. So that's just really good. Helps you stack with stuff like your Wargreymon and your Nightmons, which reduce something by 4,000 whenever he's played. Oh, by the way, Lord Nymon can play Nightmon for free because he's a warrior type. Okay. There are other warriors in this game. I think it's just him, Gladymon. Gladymon's not the best. He is a TK, basically, but you can only search for warriors or holy warriors. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. I don't think he's that good, though. But anyway, so Lord Nymon just lets you do all that. And then not only that, but then he has a DP boosting effect that is during both players' turns. Okay, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is the first time we're seeing this in the Digimon TCG, that there is a card, a boss monster, that has a DP effect that is during both players' turns. So being able to, you know, attack with him, unload your hand, and then just let him sit there in a suspended position because he's like 17,000, and then you don't care what your opponent does. Like, it's actually crazy. And on top of that, you got stuff like Chaosmon Valder Arm, which can just add to that DP reduction so much. So it's just absolutely ridiculous. And then, yeah, so I've kind of talked about those. And then Pikmon here is a really, really powerful level 2 Digimon. If you have 3 or more Digimon, just minus 1,000 on something. So I think in this deck specifically, it's a little bit easier of a threshold to reach versus Koromon from BT4. That was minus 1,000, but you have to have 3 or less security. In this one, you just have 3 or more Digimon. And then, of course, playing TK, and then the new Spiral Masquerade card. This feels kind of like a win more card. I don't think it's necessary, but it's a very, very powerful card. So for each of your Digimon, reduce something by 3,000 on your opponent's side of the field for only a 4 cost, potentially making this 3 cost because you have stuff like Patamon. This is a very, very, again, a card that is low commitment, but a very high ceiling, okay? And then, of course, you can pair this with existing cards like Slash Angemon for just even more DP reduction. So a crazy combo you could do is like attack with Lord Nymon, bring out a Nymon, minus 4,000, Digivolve the Nymon into, even though you can't attack, just Digivolve him into Slash Angemon. That's minus 12k right there off of 1 attack. Okay, so there's many things you can do, and I just think this deck is going to be an absolute powerhouse, and I think people are going to get sick of it within like the first week of the new format, but I'm kind of looking forward to playing it. So anyways, guys, that is going to be the video. So that was my kind of like review of some of the, this is definitely not everything that is coming out of the new set. This is just 6 decks that I chose to highlight. I think 6 of the most impactful and decks that people are looking forward to playing, alright? So let me know what decks you guys are looking forward to play. What cards are you trying to get out of Battle of Omni? What are you the most excited for? Are you excited for Lord Nymon? Excited for Aboremon? I know I'm excited for Lord Nymon, but the Abormon's pretty cool too. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.